All right, today we're going to break down a sales formula that was literally born at 4 a.m. It came from a total obsession with one question. How do you sell expensive stuff online when, let's be honest, nobody's paying attention? Let's dive in. So this is where it all starts. Not in some fancy boardroom, but at 4:30 in the morning after what the creator called a ridiculous amount of hours of just grinding. This isn't just about a new idea. It's about an obsession to crack a code that stumps pretty much everyone. And that's really the big question here, isn't it? What kind of breakthrough would make someone work all through the night, just completely tearing up their old strategy? I mean, what problem is so huge that it demands that level of focus? Well, this whole thing was cooked up to solve one massive problem that just kills so many online businesses. It's what we're calling the high-ticket hurdle. It's that moment where you have to ask someone to part with a serious chunk of change. Yeah, we're not talking about a small impulse buy here. We're talking about products that are $300 or more. And at that price, you better believe the buyer's hesitation goes through the roof. Getting them to say yes is a whole other ballgame. So, the real challenge is this. With a high price tag and a million other options out there, just getting someone to take action feels almost impossible. They might watch your video, they might even like it, but getting them to actually click that buy button, that's the real mountain to climb. The creator figured out that all the standard sales tricks were failing because they weren't getting to the root of the problem. They weren't addressing the number one thing that just stops most online businesses dead in their tracks. And that number one killer? It's viewer apathy. It's the fact that we're all so overwhelmed with information and ads that we just tune out. We don't really absorb any single message. And if your audience isn't truly locked in, your sales pitch just vanishes into thin air. This quote, man, it just cuts right to the heart of it. It's raw, it's honest, and it's the real goal. Forget all the fancy stuff. The new strategy had to solve this one thing first. It had to literally force people to stop scrolling and actually pay attention. So, how in the world do you beat apathy? Well, the answer turned out to be this brilliant two-part solution. And part one is all about grabbing that attention from the very first second and not letting go. This is the engagement loop, and its genius is in how simple it is. First, you announce a really cool prize. Then, you tell them you've hidden a secret code somewhere in the video. Now they have to watch closely to find it. And finally, they use that code to get their prize. It's like a mini game that their brain feels compelled to finish. And that's the psychological shift right there. You're not just some person watching an ad anymore. Suddenly, you're an active participant. You're a treasure hunter on a mission. You're leaning in, listening to every word because you have to find that code. But look, getting their attention is only half the battle. What you do with that attention, that's where the magic really happens. And that brings us to the second, and maybe even more powerful part of this whole solution, the offer itself. Now, the prize for finding this code isn't some throwaway ebook or a little discount. No way. It's a genuinely high-value tool, a powerful AI offer builder software. This is something the audience actually needs and wants, using awesome tech to solve a real problem for them. Okay, and this is where the strategy goes from smart to absolutely genius. The secret code gets you free personal use of the software, which is an amazing prize by itself. But for paying members of the system, they unlock full licensing rights. This is huge. It transforms a cool tool into an actual business asset they can use to make money. This line is just designed to make the offer completely irresistible. It changes the frame from get a free tool to gain a powerful business you can own. It's the ultimate upgrade, and it's built right into the prize itself. And just to make absolutely sure this sinks in, this idea, the massive jump from personal use to full licensing rights, is hammered home 6 different times on the sales page. That's not just selling, that's making sure the buyer totally understands the incredible value they're getting. So when you mix that attention-grabbing hook with that just ridiculously good layered offer, you get the whole formula. Let's recap how all these pieces click together perfectly. So here it is, the winning combo. You start by admitting that, yeah, the $300 price tag is a big deal. You kill viewer apathy with the treasure hunt hook. Then you hit them with that incredible value ladder. Free personal use versus owning the full licensing rights. You repeat that offer again and again. And it's all powered by new AI tech, which not only builds the page, but is the prize itself. It's a complete modern sales machine. After all those sleepless nights, after completely rethinking the entire process, the creator was sure they'd finally cracked it. This wasn't just another small tweak. This was a genuine home run. You can feel the confidence in that quote, can't you? And all this really leaves us with one final big question to think about. We're always so focused on what we're saying, but this entire strategy is built on just getting people to listen in the first place. So you have to ask yourself, what would change in your business if you made it impossible for your audience not to pay attention?